Greetings. Welcome to Jay's Grass-Fed Garden. This is a hand-dug pond. It took about like 6 hours to dig, 4 hours today, and 2 hours the first time. Pretty unique situation what happened here. It looked like that with the ice on top. This is all wetlands, and this right here where all this water is frozen, these are seasonal. They fill up and kind of helps me tell where the water level is, if we're in a drought or not. But they usually dry out. The water just sinks back into the ground. But this is all overflow from a river that actually runs back through there, through the woods, that way. And it comes from the mountain up that way through the woods. So, and interestingly enough, believe it or not, this all used to be pasture. Like this grass out here, this all used to be where this line is. And as you take the animals off the land, your forest line encroaches on your field. And you can see it's starting to happen. They didn't mow at this line last year. Now this will grow up, and then eventually, if you don't keep on mowing, it'll start to look like this. And then why the animals help is because they keep that fence line back. They help keep that forest line back by eating it all. So the idea is this is the lowest point right here. So, and interesting, also very cool, is that, here, let's take a step in. Oh, look at all the rocks that I got. Nice cache of rocks for projects. So interestingly enough, I hit an underground spring. It was bubbling up from the ground, and I've observed a lot of springs coming out the side of mountains. So I know what that looks like. I know what to look for. And I was like, oh, is it just water melting? And I'm 99% sure I hit an underground spring, because within the 4 hours that it took me to dug this, that was the first spot that I started digging out. That's when I hit it. Which was cool because it kind of helped shape the rest of this where I'm standing. You can kind of see there's like a little dip, a little edge. So hopefully, or the idea is that this would be a nice place to put your feet in. And as well as over there too, there's a little edge. And then I can come here, put like 3 or 4, or maybe just one of those big totes, and get a solar powered pump. So I could pump water out of the pond, cache it in the 50-gallon drums, and then that way, if we're in a drought and the water goes down, then I still have the water. Or if this gets filled up too much to a high capacity, I can take the water out, stash it, and then it gives this an opportunity to fill up more. Now that I hit the underground spring, I think this is going to fill up all the way, and I don't think that this spot right here is actually ever going to dry out completely now that the underground spring is in play. But the idea is that since this is the low spot, and this is all just overflow from the river that runs through there, and if this is going to dry out anyways, why not direct the water into the pond? And then I guess if this just flows, if this fills up completely, then that will be, the inflow will also be the overflow. And then it could just go back directly into the wetlands. I was having a hard time figuring that out, and now that it's really helpful when you just talk things out loud sometimes, and I couldn't figure out where the overflow was going to be, and now I just did. The overflow is actually going to be where the inflow is. So that's kind of cool, food for thought. And yeah, thinking about planting some water-loving crops along this base here now that we have this nice bed, or it could be soil for the garden. And yeah, so just a lot of nice water-loving crops, maybe some watercress, some willow cuttings, I have to do more research on my water-loving crops. But the idea is that, because I would have to drive my car to the spring up the mountain, like 10 minutes, and fill 8 5-gallon buckets. And that's just not sustainable. Like, I want the best water for the garden. That's why I wouldn't use the hose at this property, because it's connected to the city. So, but also I don't want to use all that gas trying to get the water every day. And the grass-fed system does help. I've watered less this past year, and we were in a drought. So now that the system is a full effect, I will have to keep on watering and watering less, that we have the deep mulch system retaining the moisture in. But anyways, now I just have water right here, and it's going to help me keep the garden watered. And I know this, how we doing? I know this looks bad right now, but in the springtime, this is all going to grow very good green and lusciousness. So thanks for watching. Stay updated, and yeah, this is my first hand dug pond. 6 hours of work, not too bad, not too shabby. And we'll see what happens. So like I said, I mean, it's cool that this is filling up already. So I'll come back and check it. Hopefully overnight the water will be there, and then this thing's gonna fill up before we even get rain. So I mean, that's what it seems like with just the water that keeps bubbling up from the ground. And what else was I gonna say? Water-loving crops. Yeah, just overall, I know this looks bad right now, but this is gonna bring more life to this area in the long run. If you have more water, then you have more life. One love wholeness, and we'll be seeing you soon. I don't know when this video is going to come out, but it's January 17th, and it's about 37 degrees today. And what happened is that it's very unique. So like I said, this ice, I had already kind of sculpted this out and observed this back in December when there was still standing water in here. I started carving with a shovel, and then I just happened to come back here today and check, and I kicked the ice and the soil, because like this is just straight blocks. Like there's not even water under here anymore. It's just straight ice. So I took out all the ice chunks, and because the water had froze, like the soil wasn't frozen to begin with because we had such high temperatures. And then when all the water froze, it insulated the soil underneath with that thick sheet of ice. So it was ready to work. But if you go literally right here, like the ground's frozen solid. So pretty freaking cool. And just, yeah, keep taking advantage of these warm days where I can. One love wholeness, and see you on the next one. Stay tuned for the update in the spring. This is going to be a really cool update, I believe. So one love wholeness, thank you for your support. Peace.